as a vampire, body language wasn't so important to me because I would just go about my deadly business and people had no chance of resisting me anyway. And now I'm learning all kinds of new things about what it is to be human and how it is to engage with humans. And you are a wonderful teacher for me. And so I was wondering, why would you recommend that I learn body language?
Well, it's going to help you be more in the light, more comfortable in the light. Certainly, that's an issue to present your best heart, your best spirit, your best smile, to have people smile back at you, to want to have a conversation with you, to want to learn more about you, so that your body language presentation is also received by people to be a good connection, to be a good rapport, and to be a good conversation. So it's to your benefit.
Well, that helps me to get motivated. And what about for kids of every age that might be listening to our conversation?
Well, pay attention to everything you see, everybody you see. Every time you see somebody, their body's talking to you. And be able to listen with your eyes as well as your ears and incorporate body language every day from now on.
Well, jingle jangle to that, Santa Claus. So what of this list of 10 recommendations that you have for children of every age?
Well, at Christmas time, there's a lot of movies to watch if you have time. And to watch some of the animated movies, you can learn a lot about body language. And so I've made a list of the top 10 movies that I think are the best body language presentations for Christmas time to learn from. Number 10 on the list is a movie that's probably more closely associated with you and your former life than any other movies on the list. And that would be The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh.
The animation is very stop action, and it's very expressive. It's very demonstrative. It's not normal body positioning, talking. It's very extreme. And so you see the extreme expressions and of body language. And then I would encourage you to, if you watch the movie and you see these extreme body movements, try to do those yourself. Try to accentuate your movements like they do in the movie, and see how you feel about demonstrating that body language that you have a little more over the top, a little more expressively, and see if that's fun to do.
Well, I am learning about this thing called fun, and I do love over the top, and I love extreme. What's number 9, Santa?
How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It's a classic movie. A lot of folks love it. I love it myself. And it has a lot of emotions in this movie, very associated with kids in this Christmas time. And so these emotions are easy to identify. And so then you can see them in real life when people have the same kind of feelings, if they're sad or they're happy, so that you can identify a fuller range of emotions.
So in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, it helps you to learn a full range of human emotions?
Yeah, and how the body language is associated with that. If there's sadness or if there's happiness and joy and the hands are up. And so you look at the contrast, and that's a good movie for that kind of thing.
Fantastic. What's number 8?
Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. And the reason I include this one in the list of 10 is because Disney animation is the foundation for the best animation ever was, ever will be. Back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s, the best animation that you could see at the time, and it is transcended time. And one of the best features of Disney animation is there's not as much background distraction. The backgrounds are very, very plain. So you see the character, you see the character's movements, you see the character's eyes, and the eyes are always very expressive, and they're always very big. And Disney made very, very specific animation to that end, so that we can really see what people are thinking and feeling with their eyes.
Well, the eyes have it on that one. And what's number 7?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Again, stop action, emotions. Characters now are not human like, but they're animals, and every animal has a human characteristic, and they communicate with human communication skills, but they are in a animal form, and it's very easy to watch and very traditional. And of course, I have a real good association with Rudolph myself, so I wanted to include him on the list.
Yes, I hear that you hang out a lot with reindeer. What's the next one?
Charlie Brown Christmas. Charlie Brown has a transformative event in this movie, and we see him initially very, very sad, and we identify his sadness and his angst about the holidays, and it ends on a very high note. And so you see the difference transition from the beginning to the end. And again, it's a very, very nice story.
I would imagine I would love to hear about that kind of transformation. I would identify with it personally. And what's the next one?
Well, there's a movie that maybe a lot of folks haven't seen. It's comes from Great Britain, and it's The Flight Before Christmas with Shaun the sheep.
Oh,
And the whole movie only has non-dialogue. They just have it's claymation. Okay, claymation is a different animation form, and it's a very, very entertaining form. And but they don't speak audibly as dialogue, and so you really have to pay attention to what you're seeing to understand what's going to be happening. And that's the key. Then it's very very observable, and it requires a lot of watching. And so the body talk in The Flight Before Christmas is a wonderful, wonderful experience and challenge.
wow. So what is number 4?
Number 4 is Angela's Christmas. And Angela's Christmas, I would note, is you want to pay attention to the eyes again. The eyes in this movie are so easy. It's 30 minutes. It's not very long. And the eyes then are very easy to understand the emotions that correlate with the body language. And it's a nice story. Again, all these movies are nice stories. All these movies have a good ending. And I wouldn't recommend a sad ending story on this list. But the story's good, but the eyes are the feature throughout with all the characters.
Wonderful. And 3?
A Christmas Carol. The Disney Christmas Carol. It came out maybe 10, 12 years ago. I don't remember exactly when. But they incorporated a new animation type, and that's motion capture, in that the characters were real people with sensors all over their body, so that the computer would read all of their movements, just like I'm doing here.
Oh.
And the computers would see that and translate that to the animated screen. And so they were actually using real actors doing real movements. And so that becomes really, really essential for body talk, body language. So that's a good, very good holiday theme with that kind of a capture to get good body language interpretation.
Well, chim to that. And what's number 2?
Well, this one is second to my favorite animated movie. And the reason being it's incorporated with body language, and I'll tell you the title in a second, is that the book was written called The Snowman. Not Frosty the Snowman, just The Snowman. And it was a picture book. Pictures only, no words printed on the book. So that you just looked at it page for page and saw the progression and the activity, and you interpreted what you saw. So in the movie, they've done the very same thing. There's no dialogue. It's only visual.
Wow.
So that challenges you to become like the most expert body language readers that are on the planet. And that's the deaf and hard of hearing community who can only see what they see and they don't hear. And that makes them the best body language interpreters because it's so necessary. And so the Snowman is a book with no words and a movie with no dialogue. And that then challenges us to really, really pay attention to what we see to understand the communicated message.
Incredible. Well, I'm in suspense, Santa Claus. What's your all-time favorite movie that you recommend for learning body language?
I have a bias. It's my favorite Christmas movie of all time, and that's The Polar Express. And it is like the Christmas Carol, a motion capture animation. We have one character in the movie, one actual actor that plays 5 characters in the movie. And to see those transitions and those changes out of one person is very, very subtle and very, very interesting to me. But the story is key. The body language is superb. The body language is accurate. There's no confusing what you see with what they mean for you to understand.
Santa Claus, that is quite a list of learning and entertainment all in one. I think they call that edutainment. I think that list is going to keep me and lots of people extremely busy learning their body language through the holiday season and well into the new year.
And if you put that on your Christmas list, maybe you'll get some of these for Christmas. I'll have to deliver them myself, but I'd be glad to do that for anybody and everybody. And so until next year, Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy New Year.
Ho, 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 Santa Claus. I hope that in time I can sparkle just as bright as you and Mrs. Claus and all your elves.